is sold in amounts of at least $100,000 or more, you get the advantage of volume discounts. And it's easy to do business with Garden State Life Insurance because you deal with us directly. You're always just a phone call away. So call today, 800-257-1257, toll free, 257-1257 for your free personal coverage proposal. No obligation, no pressure. Discover how this quality term life insurance could save you as much as 50% off your premiums every year for the rest of your life. 800-257-1257, toll free. Call Garden State Life Insurance for your free information today, 257-1257.
This is CNN.
Are tobacco companies on the hook for lung disease? The Supreme Court hears arguments.
Were silicone gel breast implants rushed onto the market before important safety tests were finished? Two reports point the finger at a major chemical company.
The price of cold and flu remedies is nothing to sneeze at. In Watch Your Dollars, we'll find out how to save money on over-the-counter medicines. Those stories and more for Monday, January 13th.
This is Daywatch with Bob Cain and Donna Kelley. News for the conscientious consumer.
Hello, Clarence Thomas, a cigar smoker, may be the swing vote when the U.S. Supreme Court makes a landmark ruling on smoking. Thomas, the newest justice, is on hand as the court hears new arguments today whether cigarette manufacturers are to blame for the effects of their products. Last fall, before Thomas was on the bench, the 8 justices were apparently split after hearing the case. The family of a woman who died of lung cancer says warning labels on cigarette packs are inadequate and undermined by deceptive advertising. The tobacco industry disagrees, saying the warnings absolve them of liability. The court is expected to announce a decision by July. The justices did not announce whether they will even hear a controversial abortion case from Pennsylvania. That case is seen as a possible test of the Roe versus Wade decision.
While cardiovascular disease remains the country's top killer, the death rate is going down. That's the finding in a new American Heart Association report, which says the death rate from heart attacks and strokes decreased by 30% from 1979 to 1989.
That doesn't mean that we have less heart disease in the country. In fact, what's happening is that we're identifying people much earlier because of more sophisticated tools and treating them.
The Heart Association says the U.S. rate was in the middle of the pack of nations surveyed. Japan had the lowest cardiovascular death rate, Hungary the highest. Dow Corning reportedly rushed its silicone breast implants to market before they were properly tested. The New York Times and Wall Street Journal report the first implants were inserted in women in 1975 before the results of animal tests were in. The FDA last week asked doctors to stop using the implants pending a review of their safety. A Dow Corning official insists the product has been adequately tested and shown to be safe.
Accused serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer has changed his plea to guilty. In a Milwaukee courtroom within the past hour, Dahmer told the judge he wanted to plead guilty to 15 counts of murder. The new plea will allow attorneys to argue that Dahmer was insane at the time of the killings. If Dahmer is found insane and sent to a mental hospital, he could petition, but we emphasize only petition, for his release after as little as 1 year. A prostitute accused of being one of history's rare female serial killers is on trial in DeLand, Florida. Eileen Wernos is charged with the murders of 5 middle-aged men who picked her up hitchhiking. She has confessed to having killed 7 men, but says she shot them in self-defense. The trial is for the first of the killings.
Edwin Edwards takes the oath of office and takes over as governor of Louisiana today. He says he hopes to polish his tarnished reputation and keep his promise not to raise taxes as he begins an unprecedented 4th term. Edwards beat former Ku Klux Klan leader David Duke in a runoff last November. President Bush is taking his trade message to Kansas City, Missouri. He is scheduled to address the annual meeting of the American Farm Bureau Federation within the hour. The president says his recent trip to Australia and Asia produced positive results for American workers. But over the weekend, his administration failed to persuade the European community to lower trade barriers against U.S. agricultural products, and he was unable to get concessions from Japan on rice imports.
The president heads to New Hampshire on Wednesday, site of the first presidential primary, but he seems to be facing an uphill battle for approval from voters. In a CNN USA Today Gallup poll, the number of people who disapprove of the way the president is doing his job is slightly ahead of the number who approve. The poll shows the number of people disapproving his handling of the economy is 73%. It's about 3 times the number who approve. And in a hypothetical presidential race, Mr. Bush barely comes out ahead of any unnamed Democratic opponent.
In New Jersey, you can order eggs boiled, poached, or fried, but you cannot ask for them over easy. It's against the law and has been since the first of the year. Also included in the crackdown on raw eggs are the raw eggs that are in Caesar salads and hollandaise sauce. State health officials say the regulation may help people avoid getting salmonella. Violators of the egg law must shell out fines of $25 to $100.
Just ahead on Daywatch, New York City Consumer Affairs Commissioner Mark Green on over-the-counter cold remedies. Stay with us.